Hey guys, Melissa Homner here from Sagebrush Wellness. We are going to talk to you a little bit about estrogen dominance today, right? So this is something. This is a set of words that gets thrown around a lot and that isn't really understood very well. I hear this from clients who come in and say, well, so and so told me I might have estrogen dominance, or I was doing some research about my symptoms and I might have estrogen dominance. What is it? Okay, so that's kind of what we're going to talk about today is what is estrogen dominance and what is it not. All right, and then I'm going to kind of throw in some ideas for you about things that you can do to really kind of support your body. So first of all, one of the things estrogen dominance is when your body has too much of the hormone estrogen in it, right? And on Wednesday, I created a kind of just a quick little like a survey type thing that you could go through. I posted it in this group on Wednesday. But you can just go down through and you can kind of look at what are some of the symptoms and be able to tick off and say, okay, maybe, if you have most of those symptoms, you might want to do some deeper dives and figure out what's going on for you. But if you just have one or two, it may be there's a good chance that estrogen dominance is not something that is driving your disease process and that we need to look elsewhere. So, how does estrogen dominance happen? Right. And this is something that, like when I'm talking with people who have something like PCOS or really bad, heavy menstrual cycles that are really, really painful, right? Other things that can signal a little bit of estrogen dominance is, a lot of fat, especially around the midsection. And I'll touch to that a little bit more. Some other things can be premenstrual migraines or hormonal migraines, right? Lack of sex drive. You just don't feel like it. Hypothyroidism, insomnia, bloating, fibrous breasts. Those are just some of the symptoms that can come along with it. Also, fatigue is a biggie. And fatigue is hard because it can be caused by a lot of different things, right? And it's usually caused by a group of things, not just one. So a lot of times when we're working with clients, that's where some of the peeling the onion comes in, right? We really have to peel apart what's going on for their specific body and see what's actually driving that fatigue for them. So sorry, I kind of got off on a tangent there. So what estrogen dominance is when your body has too much of the hormone estrogen in it. And one of the things that is a myth is that our bodies are messing up, right? Our bodies, we have to produce estrogen. If you're a gal, you've got to produce estrogen. Fellas do too, right? There has to be that balance in the body. So what happens is not necessarily that the body is producing too much estrogen, but usually the problem lies in the fact that the hormones, and it's usually not just estrogen, it's usually all of the other hormones as well, or at least some, that are not being metabolized and processed out of the body, right? Did you ever think about that? What happens to our hormones? Our hormones are constantly being produced by our body. There's this beautiful dance going on inside our body, right? But what happens? What happens to those hormones, right? Do you ever think about that? So what happens is they are carried through the bloodstream and they're metabolized in the liver, right? And so this is one reason why when I'm speaking with someone who we're really wondering if estrogen dominance is something that they have a problem with, that we start looking at the liver health, right? We start looking for congested biliary duct. We look at are the detoxification processes in the liver really working like they're supposed to? What is missing? So one of the things I see often in folks who have this is a distinct digestive system issue, right? Either there are food allergies, or like some of the foods that should be coming in that have B vitamins, because your liver really needs those B vitamins for hormone production as well as metabolism, right? It's all this beautiful cycle. But one of the best places to get B vitamins are red meats, right? And if your stomach is not producing enough stomach acid, it's hard for your body to break that down. Or if you're not producing enough just basic digestive secretions, your body isn't breaking that down, you're not going to really want to eat red meat or other types of foods that have B vitamins in them. And so that kind of can feed into the cycle, right? Because if your body isn't getting in the B vitamins that it needs, how in the world is your liver going to have the raw materials that it needs to be able to process all of this stuff through, right? And you start to see congestion, you start to see a breakdown of the process. And it's not that your body is hating you or that your body is not working right or that you're broken. It's just that your body doesn't have all the things that it needs to process everything, just to work correctly and to keep flowing. So that's part of the investigative, if you want to say, that process that we go through with our clients is really to, pick that apart. Okay, what is missing? What do we need to fill in? And also what is coming in that is too much. Another piece that people don't really think about in this is a lot of people who have estrogen dominance also have insulin resistance, right? This is a whole big piece of this dynamic that feeds back into hormone production, feeds back into your liver process, feeds back into the pancreatic process, which, remember, we were talking about the digestive enzymes. That's part of what your pancreas does for you, is help to produce those. And so there's this, all these pieces that feed into this thing called estrogen dominance. And usually this is not something that happens overnight, right? This is something that builds over time. This can also be something that is at the root of gals not being able to get pregnant or be able to keep their babies, right? And lose their little ones before they come to term. This is all something to be looked at. So estrogen dominance is something that is totally able to be supported, right? We can really support your body and bring all of this back into balance. But the thing that I think people miss a lot is the fact that your liver is the primary organ that really helps with this type of balance, right? Your liver has so much to do with your hormone balance. All right, so does your food. You got to bring in the raw materials that your body needs to really process, to really work, to really be just rolling right along, right? Another thing that can really feed into this is if you have inflammation in the body, right? So that's another piece that we always look at when we're working with a client who is coming in with this piece. So yeah, that's kind of what estrogen dominance is. And I want to just speak real quickly to things like cancers that are hormone fed, especially like breast cancer or something like that that's fed by estrogen. So one of the first things I do, not that I'm a cancer, I work with cancer, not really, but what I do is I look at the why. I look at what is happening in the body. And anytime we can support the body's own balance, then what happens after that is kind of up to, what your body's able to do as far as getting better. And that goes for any disease process, right? Our job is to figure out what is getting in the way of your body being well and take that out. Figure out what is missing for your body to really be healthy. Bring that in. And in doing that, we're creating this really intentional environment of healing for your body. It's not that, I've had several people say, oh my goodness, the results you get are just like miraculous. And I want to say, and I say this quite often, no, they just make sense. Our bodies are so awesome. And when we can really lean into the fact that we are created to be well, like that's our default setting. And we can figure out what we need to bring in to support the body, what we need to take out to support the body, and create this really intentional place where your body can rest and restore and heal. That's when we get to see all these crazy, amazing results, right? All right, so I want to talk about some things that we can do, right? What are things that we look out for? And I'm going to be really talking to, especially gals, but fellas too. Let's talk about this. What are some things that really feed into estrogen dominance? And I said I was going to come back to when we have a little bit of, when we have extra fat around the middle, right? Fat cells are one of the ways that our bodies protect us, right? So this goes for toxins. This goes for a lot of things in the body. It will, things that need to be taken out of the bloodstream, like sugar, right? Sugar in the bloodstream is really toxic. So one of the things the body does is put that in a fat cell, and it just kind of locks it away from your body. So it's out of your circulation, right? That's the way your body protects you. Does the same thing with, other types of toxins, and fat cells can create their own estrogen, right? So being really mindful about your weight and just eating a really good, healthy, balanced diet, getting out and walking, having exercise, that's really huge. Those two things are humongous for really supporting your body around estrogen, okay? So simple, but so big. All right, so one of the things that does not support your body very well is probably going to be gluten. All right, so just say it. Gluten is not going to be your friend if you have an estrogen dominance issue, right? Let's see, I made some notes here and I've just been powering through them, right? So I want us to think about some of the things that we are doing to introduce like fake estrogen to the body or have hormone disruptors coming in. So one of the things that we need to think about is, what are some of the products that we use on our skin, in our mouth, on our food, what cleaning products we're using. I just watched a video that a friend of mine did who does Norwex products. And I really, really love this company. I'm not a Norwex dealer or whatever. I have several friends who do it. And I really appreciate this company because they're really serious about not using anything that is going to be toxic to the body. So I want to talk about one. So you've heard of BPA, right? Benzophenol A, or BPA. This is a potent estrogen mimicker. And it's often found in plastic food wraps, plastic cups and containers labeled number 7 in the little recycling triangle. Most food can linings, even organic brands, can have BPA in them. So just knowing that BPA is a really potent estrogen mimicker, like that's going to screw with your balance in your body, right? Another really common culprit of hormone disruption is a chemical called triclosan. And I don't know if I said that right. But it is found in antibacterial soaps, toothpaste, mouthwash, deodorants, and first aid creams. All right. So one of the things I like to think about as far as, things that we put on our body, even makeup, girls, and face products and things like that, even things that you use in your hair, like soap, your shampoo, conditioner, whatever it is that you use in your hair. One of the basic layers is we don't want to put anything on our skin or that comes in contact with our skin, all of this in our mouth. We don't want to put anything on your skin that you wouldn't want to eat, right? Look at what is on that bottle. Read the ingredients. Really think about what you're putting in, because even eyeshadow and stuff and mascara, some of that has heavy metals in it, and we're not really covering that today because we're wanting to talk about estrogen mimickers and ones that chemicals and things like that that really disrupt your hormone balance. But just think about that, okay? Another major estrogenic chemical category includes pesticides and gardening chemicals. So I want you to think about what you use on your foods, and that's one of the reasons why going with organic vegetables from the store and organic fresh produce is kind of really important, right? Because a lot of times the pesticides and stuff that are used on our food can mess with that hormone balance. So especially if you're dealing with a hormone imbalance, this is really important for you to think about what's in your food. Okay, so let me go back to my notes here. I think I pretty well covered everything. So if you have other questions about this, I would really like to see them. I'd really like to hear them. And if it's a personal question, I want you to private message me. Don't put that in the comments. And I'll be able to answer you much better in a private manner through Messenger. But if you have a general question, put it out there. Put it under this Facebook Live, because I'd really like to support you and really help you understand a little bit more about what could be going on for you, right? We are accepting new clients. We've opened up some more scheduling options for you. So if you want to call in and you're like, okay, I've got this issue and I need someone to help me figure it out, give us a call. I'm going to put a link in the description for this, for this little talk that will give you a free 20-minute discovery session with me. And I really want to help you figure this out. This is something that a lot of people don't even realize can be changed for them, right? It's something that they don't realize necessarily that could get better. Awesome. All right, guys, put your questions below. Give me a call, whatever it is. I really want to support you in this. There are a lot of questions and misunderstandings around this piece, especially when it comes to things like PCOS, infertility, hormone migraines, those types of things, because they're like, they can feel really elusive, right? But they're things that we can totally support you with, because your body wants to be well. Take care. Have an amazing day. Bye.